Hey, Cereza. What are you up to today?
I'm busy refurnishing. Don't you have something more important to do?
I'm a hologram. What more important things do you think I could possibly be doing?
Oh, I don't know. Finding a pet or something? I don't fricking know.
Hiya there.
Who the hell are you? Holo, do you know who this is?
The fucker left me.
So, what you doing?
Well, I was restructuring my furniture for a guest, but since you showed up, that has been temporarily halted.
Oh, that sucks. Anyways, I was wondering if you like dinosaurs.
Odd question, but sure, I'll bite. Yes, I do like dinosaurs.
Oh, perfect! Because I was wondering if you've ever heard of a game called Mario Kart Double Dash. Because in that game, there's a course called Dino Dino Jungle. It's like DK Mountain, they share the same music and everything, but this one has dinosaurs. Yes, you heard me, dinosaurs all over the track, and there's one near a bridge, there's one near a series of bridges, and oh my goodness, it's my favorite. Is it your favorite? It has to be your favorite. It's just so good and captivating. Like, there's no other course like it in the game or in the series. Like, the controls of the game are really complement the course. That's one of the easiest courses in the entire game. It's just so good, Cherry. You gotta understand what I'm talking about. It's just so good.
Frankie! Would you be interested in seeing me perform a magic trick?
Oh, cool. I didn't know you did magic, but sure.
Courses. A staple in the Mario Kart series and other racing games like it. It's thanks to these courses that help define the entire game itself. Other than the races, mechanics, and overall field of the game, courses are an integral piece to the gaming puzzle that sometimes gets severely overlooked. Let's take a look at two examples. Mario Kart Wii is one of the most famous Mario Kart games in the series. Maybe besides 8 Deluxe, but that is irrelevant. Then there is something like Team Sonic Racing, a game that only has 2 good courses really, and a large portion of it has tracks that are reused from previous Sega All-Stars racing titles. On average, the courses in that game are either fine or just bland. But I'm not here to start a war between Sonic and Mario's racing franchises. No, because chances are they already did that to themselves. Instead, what we are going to do today is we are going through each Mario Kart game and selecting the finest courses when it comes to being pure and utter garbage. Of course, someone's opinion on a course being terrible comes down to mainly subjective matters. So if you have your opinions as to what courses are bad, you are free to comment your thoughts down in the comment section. And while you're down there... Anyway, the way we will be doing this is by starting with Super Mario Kart and we will end it off at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. No spin-offs, just mainline titles. With the rules as clear as Flat Earth's skull, we can finally get to the subject at hand. To start this off with the SNES tracks, we have...
Wow, you have some weird tastes.
I'm sorry. Why are you still in my house?
I'm here to help with this list, or whatever.
Why?
Because I am your great and honest friend who values our friendship.
You're bored, aren't you?
That, and I find your suffering funny.
Well, I'm adding that to the list. Yep, the first one that we have here is Mario Circuit 1. Now, if anyone would ask me why I hate this track so much, it's because a certain friend of mine likes to talk about it way too much and hypes it up to be the best thing since the invention of fire. It's bland, it's a starter course, enough said. I am tired of people saying that simply because it is the first one, it's obviously the best one, even if it's ironic. Ice blocks, ice physics, tight windows to turn, and a lake at the center of the course that swallows you if you are there longer than a millisecond. It is such a shame that this course actually has a nice theme, and it has nice music to go with it, but it's so dragged down by the fact that the course itself, layout-wise, is so bad. That stupid fucking dead end. It has tight corners to boot, and for some reason, the Nintendo devs at the time thought it was a great idea to emphasize a choke point near the end of the track. No, everyone. This choke point is so good that in fact I would start a world war over it. If I see this fucking Mario circuit one more time in a different Mario Kart game, I am going to freaking lose it. There is no reason as to why Mario Circuit 3 is overused as it is. First, it was in the GBA as a freaking retro, then it showed up in Mario Kart Wii as a retro, then it showed up again in Mario Kart Tour as a retro, and now it showed up again in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as a retro, wasting the SNES spot. So do you think I have any happy feelings towards Mario Circuit 3? Because if you answered yes, you'd be horribly mistaken. Oh, and an additional reason? Mario Circuit 3 in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe seemingly has a hate boner for me. I mean, it's good to know that the hatred is mutual, but it's no excuse for me to go from first to fucking fifth! Everything I'm about to say can equally apply to Ghost Valley, so here we are. The layouts suck, the music for them sucks, the backgrounds for them suck, and the concept is done better in different games. For example, Boo Lake and Broken Pier from the GBA. Those two are infinitely better than whatever the hell this is. No, and if you want pure and utter darkness, there's N64 Banshee Boardwalk for you. I swear, you could make an argument that one of the Ghost Valleys is like at least semi-decent, but the rest are just utter nuisances.
Oh my god, Cherry, don't you love this game?
I would, my fair stallion friend. However, I am not blinded by 90s nostalgia and plagued with a low standard like everyone else seems to be.
I'm going to file this under... yes.
Ice physics, penguins, and N64's bullshit. So, if anyone is wondering what bullshit N64 has to throw at you, well, there's rubber banding, the lack of drifting, the awful fucking controls, and the fact that your hitbox seems to be wider than the circumference of the entire country of fucking Russia. Oh, and if you get hit by anything, congratulations, you have now purchased a one-stop ticket to the planet Pluto. But if you fall off the track and into the water, congratulations! Lakitu will take his sweet-ass fucking time trying to recover you from the ice-cold waters of Antarctica. You know, there are things in life that simply just make me want to die. DK Jungle Parkway is one of those things. One of the main things I hate about DK Jungle Parkway is the music. All it is just random Congo intervals, and there's nothing of substance in it. It's just constant banging of a Congo drum. How can we qualify this as music? It's more so atmosphere, if anything. Additionally, the cannon section near the beginning, of course, is utter nonsense, considering you're supposed to take a whole 90-degree turn as soon as you land. Now, in N64, it's not that bad. However, in Mario Kart Wii, it is somehow worse. So, considering that most of my playtime when it comes to DK Jungle Parkway comes from either Mario Kart Wii or N64, both of which are pretty bad, I have to deal with either bad or worse. And frankly, I'd rather deal with neither, because that whole 90-degree turn situation could have easily have been avoided if someone decided to say, maybe this cannon section is not that good. But to give my final reason, the concept of a DK track has been done better in so many different games. For example, you have courses like DK Pass, DK Summit, DK Jungle, and you also even have a DK Mountain. If we are going based on just jungle aesthetic, well, we have Riverside Park and we have Lakeside Park. Granted, I don't like Lakeside Park very much, but we'll get to that in a moment. You can clearly see that there are better jungle aesthetic courses than this piece of shit. Oh, and believe me, every single one of my friends has to make it known that, oh, they love DK Jungle Parkway. Cereza, why do you hate DK Jungle Parkway? It's peak. Says no one ever. If I ever continue to hear people say that this course is legitimately good, I will adopt children and give them a good education, so then that way they never have to say that DK Jungle Parkway is good. You You thought we reached pinnacle hatred when it came to DK Jungle Parkway? No, my friend. Yoshi Valley takes the cake for being the worst freaking course in this stupid game. Tight corridors! Lakitu taking forever to freaking pick you up when you fall. Track is congested by these little black spiny creatures that would make even Shadow the Hedgehog want to shit himself. N64's rubber banding is the worst it has ever been on this map alone. I guarantee you, if any of you were to play this godforsaken stupid course in the game that it came from, you would be complaining about every little thing that I am complaining about right now. Sure, it was good in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I'm kind of glad that it was in 8 Deluxe, so then that way I never have to visit this stupid course in the stupid game that it originated from. Cause my god, it sucks! Alright, finally! A game that I truly enjoy down to my very soul.
Really? I mean, it's alright, but it's not as good as...
Finish that sentence, and I will finish you.
Look, I love the GBA Bowser Castles, but can we please just acknowledge that Bowser Castle 3 is a tiny bit overhyped more than the rest of them? Like, it's kind of a shame that out of all Bowser Castles, this one gets overly praised, while other Bowser Castles like 2 and 4 just get forgotten about. Also, I was never really a fan of the different background that Bowser Castle 3 chose to go for, as to me it just looks very ugly compared to the lava that is on the floor. Out of all the courses that are in this entire video, this one is probably the one I hate the least. Oh, but don't worry, we're about to get back into the hate train in a second. Whoever designed the layout for Lakeside Park needs to be fired. And if they already were, I'm glad you did. Because my god, for what reason do you have to punish literally anybody for making a faulty turn from going from 1st to 8th place within the span of a second? Literally, for what reason? It is the only course in the entire game that has a tendency to do this. The only other course I can really name off the top of my head is Choco Mountain. But even then, you have to be really freaking stupid in order to freaking make yourself get from 1st to freaking 8th. In this course, it's done intentionally. If you take a wrong drift at that specific turn, you are done for. And it doesn't help either that the drifting in Super Circuit is a little bit vague, so it's kind of hard to really say if the game has drifting or it doesn't, because it's such like in a gray area that you really can't say for sure if the game does or doesn't. Point being though, you literally have to come to a halt on harder difficulties when you are around that turn, just so you avoid having to deal with the repercussions of something that was not your fault. I remember distinctly losing for the first time because of Lakeside Park and the shenanigans that one turn had on my entire life. It's like Yoshi Valley for me. I'm kinda glad that it got remade in Tour and remove that stupid ass turn, but my god, it will always be in my heart as one of the worst designed courses in Mario Kart history.
You know, I'm having a blast. Got these cruise tickets for cheap and I'm having the time of my life. Hey Cherry, how you doing?
God, if boring was a course, it definitely would be this. Yes, I am not the biggest fan of GC and Sherbetland, as I am not the biggest fan of N64's Sherbetland. Granted, if you asked me which one I hated more, it would definitely be the N64 counterpart. This snow concept thing that Sherbetland tries to go for is definitely better in other games. Believe me. But there is one ginormous thing that hinders this entire course. and it will be a recurring problem with every single course that is mentioned from this point forward. Double dash physics.
No, wait, what the f-
A large reason as to why I hate double dash courses so much is because for some reason, the drifting system and or the physics system that is implemented within double dash fucking sucks. But if you think this course is the pinnacle of where double dash really hits the fucking fan, oh boy howdy, can't wait till the next one. The concept of hatred was birthed from my body when I first played Dino Jungle. Whoever designed this is rotting in hell somewhere. For some odd reason, the hitboxes on the dinosaurs, or particularly the hitboxes on you, are a tad bit ridiculous, as even if you are clearly not hit by anything, you will swivel around. Also, whoever thought it was a good idea to put the fucking double item boxes underneath the dinosaur, you are rotting. Then on top of that, we all remember the main reason as to why all these courses suck, and that's being the double dash physics. Because, you know, outward drifting for some reason. Then there's the entire bridge section, which, oh my god, if it doesn't highlight the absurdities of Double Dash's drift system, I do not know what does. Because if I have to slow down constantly just to make sure I don't fall off, and even if I do that, if I do one small little turn to try and avoid falling off, I fall off anyway! So literally, the entire bridge section is just a giant booby trap. Sure, it was done better in 7, but I'm still not gonna forget the trauma I experienced due to it. I recommend any sensible person to just play DK Mountain and stick to it. Because my lord, I do not understand why this course gets so much praise with the amount of nonsense that this course has. Oh, and I know Double Dash fans say, oh, we love the game because it's so chaotic, tee-hee. Honey, there's a difference between chaos and then outright bullshit. This course is outright bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, it doesn't seem to end there, because now we have Rainbow Road. My least favorite Rainbow Road that I have ever had the displeasure of actually having to play on. Because my lord, when it comes to the double dash physics, the stupid spiral section, and oh my word, turning in Double Dash and its stupid inconsistencies are some of the most ridiculous and mind-numbing things that I've ever had to endure during my playthrough of Double Dash. Because I don't know maybe if it's just me or my style of gameplay, but apparently to everyone that I've ever talked to, they say, oh, Double Dash Rainbow Road is really good. There's nothing wrong with it. And then when I play it, like everyone else, because I've played every other fucking Mario Kart game in the book, apparently it has become from Rainbow Road to fucking Grumble Volcano, but if everything on the Grumble Volcano was nothing but ice physics. Oh, and don't talk about the length. Oh my god. By the end of it, I just want it to end. I cannot stand 3 laps on this stupid course. And perhaps it wouldn't be so freaking long if A, there weren't so many freaking tight turns everywhere, or B, you didn't have to deal with the stupid spiral section where if you think you understood how drifting on the spiral section works, you are surely mistaken. Because any wrong turn in either direction, just ever so slightly, well, you know the rest. So yeah, out of any course or any game in this series, I will confidently say that Double Dash is the source of all my problems, and it will continue to be the source of all my problems until it no longer exists, or I no longer exist. Can we agree that this game is goated?
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, thank God. It's short, boring as shit, and the music kinda suffers the same thing as DK Jungle Parkway. Except this time, they actually added something here. However, the things that they added make it somehow more boring than it already actually is. So, yeah, the main reason just chalks up to it being boring as shit. To this day, I will declare from now to the end of time, or when I am in my eventual coffin, that Cheep Cheep Beach is nothing more than a rip-off of Cheep Cheep Island, and I will stand by that to the very day I die. I don't care how nonsensical my reasoning for hating Cheep Cheep Beach is, I simply do not see why Cheep Cheep Beach should be praised and yet Cheep Cheep Island should be forgotten to the sands of time. Simply put, Cheep Cheep Island is simply just better, and y'all should stay mad. Literally copy and paste every reason I have for Yoshi Falls and insert it for Desert Hills. Sure, the reference to one of the Mario games is nice, with the whole sun thing and all, but it does not save it from being absolutely a dread to drive on. And it makes me question why Mario Kart Wii decided to make this a retro track instead of, I don't know, anything else.
Alright, Cherry. What are the tracks you hate in this game?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, we're on Mario Kart Wii now. Do you not have a single course in this game you hate? Not even one?
Well, there's a few retros in this game that I do despise. DK Jungle Parkway, Peach Beach, Ghost Valley, Sherbet Land. You know, the usual. But as far as nitros are concerned, there isn't a single one that I hate. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Moo Moo Meadows, but it's mid at best. So, practically inoffensive.
Didn't that help answer it for you, Frankie?
Alright, since you didn't have any hate bones for any of the Wii tracks, maybe we can keep up that positive momentum.
Oh, Frankie, my naive friend. This is the part where I get hate mail. It's short as hell, it's literally like every other circuit course that I have ever seen, except it does everything worse. Plus, it got into a Deluxe and wasted a 3DS slot that should have been open for literally anything else. But instead, we got mediocrity. So, we now have to live with the consequences of knowing that we live in a timeline when Nintendo thought it was a better idea to put in Toad Circuit rather than 3DS Mario Circuit. Can you see we live in the best timeline? Can we just agree for like 2 seconds that the only reason why Cheep Cheep Lagoon exists is so that it can showcase the underwater mechanic that 7 introduced? Like, for a Cheep Cheep track, it is boring as shit. And it's by far one of the worst Cheep Cheep tracks that has ever been produced. Even if, like, Nintendo were to make another Cheep Cheep track, it would definitely be leagues better than whatever the hell this was. Considering A, it's short, B, it's really boring, and C, what really is there noticeably to offer here? The answer is nothing. Okay, I'ma be honest, I was never a fan of Woohoo Loop. Frankly, I thought it was out of place in this game, and the music that accompanied this course really wasn't anything special. And yes, both Woohoo Laps are 3-lap courses, and I think in the game they are the first to do the 3-lap system. But come on, you can't tell me that this course is one of the most beloved courses that come out of 7. It is just the Nintendo Wii Island Resort. How does it make any sense for when it gets referenced like at least twice in Smash Bros, nobody bats an eye, but as soon as we get 2 courses of it for Mario Kart 7, everyone like loses their collective shit? Come on, guys. Every reason that I stated for Woohoo Loop transitions over to Mako Woohoo. The only thing about it that I like is that there's a castle in it. I'm serious. Talk about overrated, am I right? For some reason, Nintendo really likes this Bowser Castle, and by that I mean for some reason when I used to play Mario Kart Tour, every now and again I would find myself confronted with 3DS Bowser Castle, and I've played it to the point where I am simply tired of having to lock eyes with it. Like, by golly, like, if I was introduced to it again, maybe it wouldn't be on this list, but I am so tired of seeing this Bowser Castle over and over and over again. It's like I was living in Groundhog Day. And you know what? surprisingly, for being a Bowser Castle, it's boring! I said it! The theme around this Bowser Castle is genuinely really boring compared to the other Bowser Castles that we've had to deal with. And that is literally saying something, considering that we have two Bowser Castles that share a similar theme to each other, even though they're from two completely different games. Oh, and do not even get me started with the ingenuity of the frickin' 2D Bowser Castles, because then we're really gonna get into some controversial talk. So yes, the best I can really say about Bowser Castle in Mario Kart 7 is that it's mid. That's basically the best I'm gonna keep it at.
Hey Cherry, it says that there are only 2 courses in this section. These don't look all too bad either. I'm sure you have good reasons as to why you hate them, right? Why are you smiling?
Alright, we finally arrive at the latest mainline game in the series. Okay, some of you may already have a grenade launcher pointed at my head, so this section will probably not help with that at all. For some fucking reason, every time I play Versus Races on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for my Nintendo Switch, every time I set the course selection to be random, it will always, and somehow without fail, include Dolphin Shoals. Either once through a sitting of 8 races, or twice or more. I do not understand why this game thinks that I love Dolphin Shoals. I have despised it because of this, and not only have I done so because of that small little reason, I am also not a fan of its layout. I'm sorry. The whole fricking underwater pipe section, not really a fan of it. The fricking area at the beginning where all you have to do is trick with dolphins? Yeah, I'm not thoroughly impressed. And sure, it's got a big eel on it, and you can trick off of that. But what's the point? On top of that, there's a giant whirlpool that you just drive past. Which, granted, if you could actually see the whirlpool, that would be great. But since it's literally on either side of your vision, and you can hardly even see it by the time you actually get a full-blown view of the damn place, you just glide past it. And on top of that, I think this course relies way too much on the saxophone. I know Mario Kart 8's thing is that it loves using the saxophone for some of its courses, and maybe there are other courses that use the saxophone more than Dolphin Shoals, but I can't think of a more prevalent example of an instrument being overly used other than Dolphin Shoals. Cause my god, if I have to hear that saxophone solo one more time, I might as well allow myself to be fed by sharks. My reasoning for hating Dragon Driftway, I'll admit, is a little unfair, because my main reason for not liking it has to bring in real-world conversations into it. So all I'm gonna say is that it involves a certain country that I do not like. But from a gameplay angle, so then that way I can possibly justify my hatred for Dragon Driftway, for some reason the turns are very oddly designed. And it's like playing one of the older courses from the earlier games, where for some reason every corner needed to end with a sharp turn. And frankly, when you're in anti-gravity, yeah, it does not mix very well. Doing tricks on this course might as well be your worst enemy, because more than likely it would either send you off of the course, or allow you to land on a patch of grass, which I don't know if you know this, but even on anti-gravity that shit slows you down. And those are all the courses that I plan on talking about today. Now, for some of you who are still watching by this point, you're probably wondering what are my opinions on the tour courses, the arcade games, and you. But frankly, first off, I've never really played any of the arcade games. All I know is that Pac-Man's in it. And as far as Tour is concerned, there really isn't a course in Tour that I hate. Sure, there's some courses I find mildly annoying, but everything else I find pretty cool. Now, if you haven't already, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and hit the like button and the notification bell. Doing so will not only help you, but it will also help me. Obviously, as not only will you be able to find videos that are piqued to your interests, but you will also find maybe like-minded and different-minded individuals to you. So, I hope you have watched this video to its entirety and enjoyed thoroughly. probably not as much as my friends watching me play through some of the worst games I've ever played in my life, but I'm sure you probably enjoyed it to some varying degree. But with that, I can only leave and wait till the next one, as I am Cereza Valentine, and stay Cherryful.